What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Leonard, subprime hero.
And we are excited to be bringing you another five-liner. Welcome to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, where we're going to be having a great time interviewing another incredible car gal in this amazing, amazing business that we get the chance to be a part of. Speaking of be a part of, we are right now filming live from El Paso, Texas at the one and only Casa Nissan. So you're seeing a whole lot of stuff going on. What's up? We got Tony Duran right over here saying what's up, make sure people know that he can help in giving the right money on a trade-in. So if you are in the El Paso area, we're going to be here for the next couple of days. Make sure that you stop by, text us, call us, let a brother know that you're in town and that we can get together for a little bit. But Brewing Solutions is what we're doing out here right now, and we are excited to be getting you an incredible, incredible high-quality car gal. But you know what it is that you got to do to help us get this show started. Tag a car guy,
tag a car gal,
and share.
Once I clear out this throat, maybe I'll say it right. So make sure you guys go out there and get this out there. I see there's people already jumping in. We got our first comment. It's Jordan Cox saying,
Jordan?
It's go time.
That's right.
You know what it is? It is go time, Jordan. Thank you so much for jumping in. Represent Asodu out there doing some big things. I'm glad your all's conference went so well. We'll be there at the next one, I promise.
Yeah.
We honor you guys so much, especially you, Jordan. We love you, brother. But no, folks, Lou mentioned we do have an amazing car gal getting ready to come on to the show today. We did run a whole series, which was amazing. Women in automotive, just tons of women that were coming on that were just future makers, right? What's going to be happening in our industry. What I love is we're seeing more and more of these amazing ladies coming in here and showing us guys how to do it better. And it's important that we do that. It's important that we have so many different perspectives in our industry so that we can get better. Because the way that we were doing it, folks, it's disappearing. It's time to make a change, and I'm excited about that. And the lady that we have coming in today, I tell you what, I see her at these events, and I always see her there, and I just knew that we need to get you on the show. And I think it's great that she's going to break the shell a little bit and get on the show today and hear a little bit more about her and learn about her through this five-liner and figure out what her future is going to look like and why our industry is looking great with people like her.
Heck yeah. And we are pumped up that you're in here watching this.
Right.
Whether this is live or this is on the replay, make sure that if you have any questions, just ask. Go ahead and drop a question in there for our guests. Go ahead and tell our guests that you're appreciating them taking their time to be able to brew solutions with us and bring that great news to you. But we are so pumped for everybody that's involved in making this event happen. Shout out to each and every one of our sponsors. You can see them highlighted on the top of the screen here. Make sure that you do check them out. Book your demos. Tell them that Car Guy Coffee sent you. And I'm telling you, they're going to hook you up. I'm just letting you know. Let them know Car Guy Coffee sent you. You were watching the show. You want to book a demo and see what that does for your savings, and also just to upgrade you, take you to the next level. Okay, car guys and car gals, that's enough of this ado before we get this special guest on here to brew with Fred and Lou. So let's go ahead and make it do what it do. Let's welcome in the one, the only Madison Morgan. I went for the whole name. Maddie Morgan, welcome to the party. We got a few people that are ready to see you. What's going on, Terry? Excited that Maddie's up in here. Yeah, she's pumped up that you're here. We got, is that Logan? Ashley?
Logan.
The whole team loves you. And you know what? I have a feeling that a lot of people out there love you, and I'm excited to have you on the show. I saw when you shared the post that this show was coming on, how many people were just encouraging you, saying, hey, go after it, have fun, and that's what it's about. It's about having that encouragement. Yes. But more importantly, I want you to know, Maddie, that your voice matters. And I think a lot of people want to hear your voice. And I know, I know that, right? I keep telling you that. So I'm excited to have you on. And, but before we do anything on the show, we always like to drop F-bombs. And these F-bombs, don't feel wrong about it. These don't offend the moms, right? These are the ones that are clean. This is something that's super beautiful. Lou, tell a little bit about the F-bombs.
So the F-bombs are designed to make sure that we do take a different spin on our world and replace some of those F words that we tend to see happen so often, but with actual good verbiage and doing things that we should do to be able to keep ourselves moving in the right direction, which critically is applying forgiveness. If we do make sure to wipe off the weight of unforgiveness, whether against others or ourselves, then we're free to be able to use these hands to do what we're made to do. Block out the haters, block out the distractions, get focused. So this way we can stretch out doing things that we couldn't imagine we're doing and start flying so that we can keep growing all the time. For some of you, you already know how to do this. Some of you are listening to this on your drive, so drop one hand on it. And for those of you that do have a couple of hands and a little bit of space, we're going to have Maddie jump in here and do this for the first time on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Maddie, help us out. Get in the position.
Let's go.
Hands on the shoulders one time. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Forget it. Focus. Fly. And keep growing.
Keep growing. Boom. We're giving you a high five. Bam.
A high five back
Bam.
to you. You crushed it.
Appreciate it.
High
Part of
Part of the family now that you are official, right? You know, forgiving, focusing, and flying
Amazing.
is such a crucial being a solutionary and being part of the CGC crew. And you'll understand more as time goes by. But, you know, folks, that is the key to keep growing. And that's what we're going to do. So let's get to Brewing Solutions, the hitter with this 5-liner. I'm excited to go over this 5-liner with you and talk a little bit more about you, what's going on, and what's happening. You know, these questions that we ask. Well, first I want to throw some shout outs. We got Tony Lucas
saying he's pumped up.
Yes,
for this.
super pumped for this, right?
He was talking about wanting to see this yesterday, so he's pumped up that you're in here.
What's up,
awesome.
Tony?
Thanks for taking the time. Tony Lucas, more of the Casa crew.
Yeah, we got Teresa. Teresa in here saying,
Yes.
let's go, Madison. Represent
KC.
KC.
Right. You know, just a sidebar. You went to school, college, was it ASU?
Yep, ASU. Yep, go
Right
Sun
on.
Devils.
That's right. You know, in my one of my cousins, my wife's cousins actually, she just graduated from there this semester, just finished, just had her graduation party. So let's go. Congratulations to you for being part of that crew over there. ASU is a great school, folks. It's a great region of the United States.
Congrats.
So you're very blessed. Very blessed to have you as alumni.
And congratulations to all you other car guys and car gals that have graduates going through that season of graduation right now. We know that you've done some great work, tussling and toiling to help make sure that they make it to moving that tassel around. We're so thankful that you guys get to enjoy that. Take a lot of pictures, share it all around, but congratulate mom and dad. Give yourselves a couple hand pats on the back saying we made it, we did it. But congratulations to all you graduates out there. We're so excited for that season to be in place.
No doubt.
Maddie, you've now forgiven, you focused, and now we're getting ready to start flying. And we're going to start breaking down this 5-liner. Now, this 5-liner is designed to find out some of the key qualities of the car gal that you actually are. None of these are questions that you don't know the answer to because they're all about you and what it is that you're doing to make sure that you keep not just motivating yourself, but keep leading this industry into a new direction, one decision at a time. So let's go ahead and get this party started with the first question that we always ask everybody because we think it's one of the core reasons that people do what it is that they do. And Maddie, it's going to be the why. Why do you do what it is that you do? What is it that gets you up every day to stay focused and to start flying?
Yeah, and I love this question because I feel like it's so broad. So on a personal note, I mean, I was always raised with an extremely strong work ethic, right? So learning that you don't just get handed opportunities in life. You have to wake up every single day and really work for what you want. Like you have to fight, you have to climb. You can't just stay stagnant. So I'm really lucky to have been brought with that sort of specific for, automotive, and why I do what I do is I get to work with the most amazing clients, the most amazing people, get to work for the most amazing people in the entire industry, right? So I've been so blessed in my career so far to have had those experiences, but I wake up every day just wanting to be the best version of myself for myself, my family, my clients, and that's why I do what I do.
I love that.
That's awesome.
You know, it's always good to look to be your best version. You know, I think that if we all did that every single day, even if it's just a little bit more every single day, we'll find that after through time, we become better than we could ever imagine, that our goals change, that we realize that there's so much more potential in all of us. Matter of fact, it's unlimited potential in all of us. And I think that's what the key is to life. As we grow, we stay alive. As we sit still, we feel like we're dying.
Mm-hmm.
So keep going, my friend. And I love that. Great answer to the why. Of course, that's your answer. That's why you're such a rock star. So keep being better. But, you know, just like you said, it's for yourself, for everyone around you, your clients, the whole nine. So when we start to grow, we put that energy towards others, right? And others start to feel that too, and they're going to want the same thing. And that's something that comes along with why this industry is so great. You know, I think that having a great why is the key. That's why we always start our first question with the why. It's important that we know what that is, whether it's we know what yours is or we know what our own is, right? Everybody should have their why so they can clutch onto that when there's moments of toughness, when there's moments like, I don't like doing it today.
Yeah.
You know, you get on that why, and next thing you know, you're like, man, I just did it and I crushed it, and it makes it all worthwhile. Having those are important. So I love it.
And then it's awesome that you brought up it being so broad of a question, because it is a shifting answer quite often. Quite often we have a why for one thing that we do and a completely different why for the other things that we do. Professionally, how we find our way doing what we're doing is always a similar story. A lot of times we stumble into it, especially inside of this business. But having that why being your anchor is often what propels you going forward and makes you more rooted when the winds blow and you're wondering, why am I even doing what I'm doing? If you stay engaged with that, keep that peripherals and your center focused, you're always going to be achieving. And we're excited that you are in this incredible industry with us, being able to show people how to stay focused on that why. We appreciate that. Maddie, keep rocking.
It's my question, because I think we've kind of led it. What brought you to automotive? All industries that you could have chose.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And you know, they always say, like, once you're in auto, you're never escaping. And I feel like that is always true, but I fell in love with it. I mean, I didn't grow up saying like, okay, I'm going to be in automotive. I wasn't one of those people who has family in the automotive industry, and I kind of followed that path. So my story is unique to me, but I don't think it's unique to a lot of people in this industry. You kind of fall into it. So, I mean, after college, I really wanted to start continuously focusing on the social media aspect of it. I actually went to school for design, funnily enough, and also sales and marketing. So a lot like other people, when you graduate, you're not really sure what you want to do when you get out, right? And as I was exploring different job opportunities, I saw one for an agency that specialized in social media marketing in automotive. And to me, I was like, that sounds really cool. I don't know anything about cars, but I do know a good amount about social media from some past internships, experiences throughout college and in my life. So when I went to actually go interview for this place, they, in my opinion, took a really big chance on me. So grateful for that. But I just remember kind of going in, and my first day, I was hired alongside somebody who used to work for Facebook. And I was sitting there just like, oh my gosh, I am so out of my element. I feel so underqualified for this. But throughout my career there, like, I really fell in love knowing that maybe I'm learning every single day about the auto side of it, especially working hand in hand with dealers. That was so instrumental in my understanding of the retail space and really being able to see it from their perspective. And then mirroring that experience that I had with social media, from whether it's like paid Facebook advertising and even just learning with that, kind of combining those two, I had a very successful career within that agency, and I just fell in love with auto ever since. I mean, there's so many cool people within this industry, and we deal with a lot of different personalities, but that's my favorite part of the whole journey.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, I love all the different personalities, the different perspectives, the different ideas, the different businesses, the different dealerships. Every dealership's different, you know. And speaking of that, you know, obviously we're very, very lucky to have you in this industry. And we do have Jordan Cox commenting again saying, when I was on the dealer side, Madison Morgan was one of my favorite industry partners. She legit cared about our success at the store and helped us find success. That's big. And that's comes from somebody that knows some things. I love that about Jordan. And Jordan, you know, biggest heart in the world, but he doesn't say nice things unless he can, right? He's not, if he doesn't have anything nice to say, he doesn't say anything at all. I love that about him.
I always hear him saying nice things.
But he says a lot of nice things.
Always finds nice things to say.
He's one of the nicest guys in the automotive industry. I love
and
it.
a smile.
The nicest guy, hands down.
Once in auto, you never get out. You know, with both testaments, Lou tried. For one moment, Lou tried, and he came right back in. I'm so happy he did.
Yep.
This industry, it's addicting. It can change your life. There's so many opportunities and so many different angles that you can do in this industry. A lot of people think automotive, oh, you sell cars. No, that's like a small part of what it all is. That's the end result of what it all is, right? Actually, it's more of a middle because there's always after sale, there's service, there's so many things that we can talk about that are after the sale. But it's like a big part of what we do, and all of it. It takes all of us, everybody from marketing to internet people to social media marketing to whatever it is that we need to get better at. There's people out there, and there's people like Madison out there doing some big things, coming into this industry, getting college educated, finding resources from different perspectives, bringing it towards us, and then falling in love with the industry because of the people and because of what's happening. I love it.
So can you hear us? Because it looks like our video, somebody said our video might be frozen. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you guys are a little frozen, but I can hear you loud and clear.
A little frozen, like soft serve ice cream? Oh, okay, I can deal with that. That's my favorite kind. Okay. So with that said, Madison, because of course this is the podcast, so hopefully this is heard crystal clear on the podcast side of things. And for those of you that are watching the show, we appreciate you watching, listening in, and I wish that we could do something but we can't see it. Everything looks good on our side for the most part, but we don't want to stop this 5-liner. We have to know inside of these situations, and it's so funny that it's Matt Damos that jumps in here letting us know about our frozen camera, because that is an incredible mentor inside of Fred and my life. So with that said, let's talk about some mentors, because you probably had some people that have cut on you a little bit, have shined you up a little bit, have kind of made it challenging, maybe even frustrating at times. But in order to get the refined golden version of you to market, you've had some people in your life that have, buffed you out a little bit to get you to where it is that you are. Who would you say are the key mentors inside of your life?
Yeah, and I've been extremely fortunate to have worked with some of the most amazing people, like the smartest people within this industry. And we'd probably be here for an hour if I rattled off a list of names, but a few key people that have really helped me in my growth. And like you said, Lou, like really, or was it Fred? You guys were frozen. I couldn't tell. Really challenged me to become the best version of myself and continuously learn. The one person that comes to my mind right away is Giancarlo Montenegro. So he was actually one of the people who hired me at my original job in automotive. And I'm extremely lucky to call him a client today, now that he works at Castle Automotive Group up in Illinois. So he's definitely another person that had really taken me under his wing early on in my career is John McAdams over at Social Dealer. If anybody knows Johnny Mac, he has a heart of gold and will do anything for his employees or really anybody, give them the shirt off of their back to help them be successful. And that's really hard to find sometimes. So very much appreciate that. Amber Daniel is another one. If you know Amber Daniel, she is over at Cognition. Just her transparency and realness has really, Amber. Amber is a shining star. She's on a rocket ship at all times, like going to new heights. And she's been really inspiring to me to look up to as not only a woman in automotive, but just a genuine good person that you can learn so much from. Another person, Drew Cameron. So over on the Polk Automotive Solutions side, which I now work for S&P Global Mobility, if we missed that earlier. I got the pleasure of working with him at my agency I was at. And when I came over to somebody who is always there for you to go to, whether you have an issue or just want to bounce some ideas off of, or really anything. And then the S&P side. So we actually have a very amazing mentorship program that links us up with not only people in the retail space, which is what we deal with at Polk Automotive Solutions, but S&P Global Mobility as a whole. So David Flynn being one of them, and then another mentor that I have who's been absolutely incredible, especially when you're learning about not only the retail space, but like the OEM side, which is a completely different world for me personally, is Greg Abraham as well. So, and I could go on for probably, like I said, an hour listing so many more people, and hope I don't hurt any feelings by not mentioning anybody, but they know. I'll say that. So I've been so lucky.
No doubt about it, and I love that you could list that many people, and I think it's a blessing that you can, because we always should honor the people who've helped us come to where we're at today. From our parents to our grandparents to the people that were our bosses at jobs, or friends that helped us uplift us when we were in school and probably didn't, want to do the test, didn't want to study for it, didn't want to write the reports, but they encourage you to do so. The professors that we've had in the past, the teachers, everyone. There's so many reasons why we are. It takes a village, man. It really does. Why we are who we are today. And it stinks because, like, to your point, you don't want to offend nobody and say I didn't mention the names, but people know who helped you out, and I know that you honor all of them. I think that's great.
Yeah, and especially on the personal side, like that's a whole nother hour.
Oh, right. I could imagine, but I want to shout out to Amber Daniels and just tell her, great job. You're an amazing lady out there doing some amazing things, and way to whip my butt in that 40, slightly over 40 competition. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And thank you for that, Terry. Women in auto is growing fast, and they are making the industry better. We're convinced that women make everything better. Everywhere they go, they find a way to improve it, and even just pretty it up, whether it's decorating or it's just being in the room and making sure that things are in order. It's everything so much different when it's not all guys doing it. Trust me, I hear it all the time from my wife, right?
Great.
She's always like, you can tell it's all guys planning this event. You can tell, she could always let us know that, because you all just think so much different than us. I would almost say better, but I don't necessarily want to say it like that, but I would say it's more. Maybe if you're watching.
It's a different perspective. I mean, it's good to have a mix of everybody, all different opinions in this space. It's been so historically men focused, and the fact that so many more women are now coming and being in this industry, it just speaks volumes, especially when you think of diversity, equity, inclusion. Like, it's huge, and I'm so lucky to be a part of that.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you part of it, and I think it's great. I can't wait to see folks when we do a follow-up in a couple of years. We talk about what's happened in her life over the last 2 years since this interview. We're going to see a lot of great things. We're going to see all the influence that you brought into it. I want to encourage you to take all the advice and listen to what your mentors and your friends have been telling you and saying, you are a rock star, you are destined for big things, and don't allow anything to slow you down. Get rid of that fear and go get after it. Not that you have any. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just letting you know, as a friend to friend, get after it, because your future is bright if you keep pushing the way you're pushing. So that being said, we have all these great things. We go through all these moments in life where sometimes we fall, right? Sometimes we stumble. Sometimes we hit a brick wall, and we're like, man, what do I do next? And through those, we get lessons inside of ourselves, right? We find things out about ourselves that make us better, stronger, or maybe where our biggest weaknesses are. Hopefully that's what we figure out, because to your point earlier, one of your biggest whys is to constantly grow and to get better, right? What has been one of your hardest lessons? Matter of fact, what has been your hardest lesson that you've had since you've been in this industry? Well, actually, or in life, whichever way you want to answer that.
Yeah. So I could answer this question in a million different ways. And as I was kind of thinking about how I wanted to go about this, I mean, a lot of the trials and tribulations and growing experiences, I have not been a stranger to failure, but I really feel like every single time that I fail, it's a learning opportunity. And it's not something that should just beat you down and unmotivate you, but it's what you do with it and how you react after the fact that is really going to help you propel yourself forward even better. But I will tell you about a specific time that I think of constantly. It has just been ingrained into my fabric of being because it was such a notable experience in my life. And I'll go into the story and stop talking about that. We'll save that for later. But this happened at my first NADA ever, which was 2019, San Francisco. I was about 6 months into automotive at that point, and I was just kind of thrust into the world of NADA. And I'd never been to a conference before. So I went from like 0 to NADA, which we all know NADA is like the big league, the conference of the year. So it was really kind of baptism by fire in that sense. So I'm out there kind of doing my thing, getting used to what the trade show floor looks like, meeting all these different people. And I went to this little back area where I had my stuff. I needed to grab something. And I walked in, and one of our VPs at the time was sitting down with a dealer. And so I just kind of quietly snuck in, grabbed my stuff. But before I could leave, the dealer looked at me and he said, "Hey, you, like, what do you do? Like, sell me what you do." And at this time, I was not in a sales position. I was more of an account executive, buying media, kind of consulting with dealers. And I said to him, kind of in a cheeky way, I was like, "Well, like, I'm not necessarily in sales. I can go grab somebody from our sales team to kind of give you the rundown of what we do." Just kind of trying to dodge the question a little bit because I wanted to get in and out there. And he looked at me dead in the eyes and he said, "Young lady, we are all sellers. Never, ever say that ever again. Like, we are all sellers, and you better remember this for the rest of your life." And I just looked at him in the eyes, and I wish I could have just gone back and said, "You know what? You're right. Here's what I do. I'm going to sell you this right now." But I just kind of looked at him with this blank stare of disbelief, and I said, "Okay." And I just kind of walked away. But I think about that almost not every day, but constantly. And in my mind, I'm like, this is what I could have done. Like, I could have done this a million different ways and really showed him. But I think about that constantly. And now that I am in more of a sales position, it's something I think back on, to little 22-year-old Maddie at her first NADA, and what I know now versus what I didn't know then is just crazy to think about. So
yeah, that's an awesome story.
It's crazy to consider those things and where you would be without those different little nudges or jabs or lessons inside of life if you didn't get them. Too many times we curse the storm,
yeah,
and forget that the storm is what's bringing the rain to our crops, right? The storm is what's bringing the nourishment that we need to be able to get better. The storm is what's helping us figure out that we have to make adjustments in order to not just survive, but to thrive, to be able to go to the next level. And those hard lessons are critical inside of our development.
Mm-hmm.
It's normally the things that most refine our actual character is finding those hard lessons and those hard challenges. When we can easily go to what's easy, we don't. And we all know that in this industry, we're finding more and more ways to be able to simplify the processes, to try to augment the humans and get us to be able to do more with less time, more, right? Do more with less time, more often. And inside of that, as we try to iron these things out, we find out so many different things, not just about ourselves, but about our teams, about our people, about our businesses, about our customers. I feel like we're on this whole new date with customers in general, right? The entire industry, we're in this new relationship with the buyers, even those that have been buying for decades. We're in this new relationship with how we treat them, especially because now they know the standard has raised. The way you take care of your customers should be better, and we expect more of dealers nowadays, and they should. As much as dealers are fighting right now to make sure that we maintain our relevance inside of an industry that can, if it had to, move a vehicle directly from an assembly line to a driveway. It's possible, but our relevance is key. Our essential, I want to call it essentiality. Is that a word? Do you know if that's a word? Essentiality.
I like it. Keep it.
But I you know what I'm saying.
It sounds amazing.
but it is something that does matter, especially if we're great professionals at what it is that we're doing. But it's those hard lessons that get us to recognize, oh, I have to have a paradigm shift of how it is that I even look at myself, and that I'm a problem solver. And sometimes the problem is sales. And if you represent the product, we're all selling.
That's 100%. That's some great advice. I believe that.
I love that.
You should always be doing that. If you work in a business, you should be proficient enough to be able to explain what you guys do there. And that's part of selling, you know. I think we've all been doing that since day one. That's what gets us drive, you know. And to your point, 5 years later, you're looking at your career and you're like, he was 100% right. You know, I've been selling this whole time. Matter of fact, that's what I do now. I'm very good at it and I'm learning more.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Without even knowing it sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be big. You know, Jordan Cox even says, sell or be sold. I remember my own version of this life-changing lesson, right? It's facts. You know, I told the class today during our training how one of my good friends, Paul Damos, would always say, in every car deal, there's somebody's going to get closed, whether it's you or the customer. So make sure it's the customer, right? So it's always that way. It's the way we do business, and it's what makes life fun, especially when you're at an event like NADA. You better ABC always be closing, right? So it's an important thing, and I love that. That was a great lesson. That's cool that you got to go to San Francisco. Maybe been the last time we ever go to San Francisco for NADA too. So that's neat that you got to do. Cool. Yeah, we got Tony Lucas saying, "What a great talk here, folks." Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Tony, for jumping in here, brother. Love you, bro. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate you so much. But, you know, we're going to keep this thing rolling.
Thank you, Tony.
He is. He's awesome.
Tony is awesome. He's awesome. And he's becoming quite the pickleballer.
He is.
Has some
great games.
I saw.
Heck yeah.
I got to come down for a game.
Yeah, come on down, please. We definitely could use support. But that, because
I got a paddle.
Good. Excellent. That's welcome to the family.
You are part of the family.
Baller. High five to you. You'll have another one.
My friend.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, with that, bam, there you go. With that comes the last question on the five-liner, which, man, I feel like we got to this pretty quick. So, Maddie, we talked about your greatest lesson, talked about some of your great mentors. We talked about how you got into automotive and anchored it down with your actual why. But getting through all of these things, we may collect a lot of trophies. We may collect a lot of plaques and accolades, definitely pile up a lot of money, all of these different things. But though you do have a whole lot of career in front of you, you do have a great amount to reflect on so far. But out of all of those things, Maddie, what has been your greatest reward so far?
Yeah, so my greatest reward is getting to see my partner's success. So, and that's really done through so many different ways, right? So I'm not the one in the dealership selling the cars, but I get to help my clients every single day get closer to that sale. So being able to hear feedback from them, whether it's the result of a case study we've done using our audiences, which help gear those people who are in market or owners of specific vehicles, that advertising really allows people to bring in that audience of customers and actually service or buy a car from their dealership. So kind of facilitating that and helping move these people down the path of purchase, and hearing back from my customers saying, hey, like, we actually saw some great results from this. Like, that is the most rewarding thing. And being able to help in that and actually make a difference in the dealership, whether I'm working with one of my agency partners on behalf of a dealer or directly for a dealer, like, that's just so important to me. And giving that level of access to our data, I think, is key, especially in this day and age when there's a lot of kind of different data points floating around there. So whether that's measuring it, whether that's just enabling them to use our audience suite, there's so many different ways that we can help, and it's just rewarding to see the outcome.
That is awesome, because you do, when you team up with somebody, and especially a client, and you're committed to taking them to the next level, which is how the relationship goes, right? We're trying to make sure that we are building relationships with people that are going to increase our chances of being able to be successful. But with that, when you actually get the chance to say, all right, we got past the yes, we're on let's get it done day, and then you start to see it move into action, and everybody, especially on the dealer side, they're like, all right, well, we need results, and we need results yesterday. We need to have answers now. Let's go. Why, am I selling more cars? Am I doing more of the things that I want to do? Right? They want to know that right away. That is the great thing about the car business, is that we are able to go from hero to zero and zero to hero rapidly, go from on top of the mountain to at the bottom of the valley. And it shifts so quick. I mean, I love seeing the faces of especially salespeople who are rethinking their entire life. One moment they sell a car, and man, they're ready to have a parade. It's amazing how quickly those things shift. But when you do jump in with an actual dealer partner, and you're saying, I want to help you go to the next level, when they start to see that, I made a good decision. I was wondering if I was going to go in the right direction. Maddie had me convinced. I was loving seeing some of the data, but seeing data pre-actual results is one thing, because we're car guys and car gals, so where everybody's like a little like, okay, prove it to me, right? But when you actually get those,
and like,
it's like, yes, right? It's almost
crazy. Yeah. And like the coolest thing, so even going back to my mentors, so Amber actually created one of our dealer facing products, Polk Auto Direct. And within that, dealers can go and purchase audiences, and they're actually able to see real-time sales data. So you mentioned the importance of and the need for dealers to see like immediate results. You can log into that platform and see every single day that your sales are refreshing and measuring those audiences against those sales. So it's just tying everything together, really.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Way to go, AD. So we're talking about Amber. That's what I'm talking about. AD. What's up, AD? Let's go. Love it.
But speaking of tying everything together, go ahead and give everybody a little bit, and also so that we can have that piece for the show of what it is that you do, what company you work for, how they can get a hold of you, and how you can actually take them to the next level.
Yeah. So I'm Madison Morgan. I am a client partner at Polk Automotive Solutions by S&P Global, and I work with our dealer partners and agencies. And what I do is I help them make more informed decisions about their marketing spend and reduce all of that waste. So once you're actually knowledgeable and you have that data at your fingertips to make those decisions, you're able to activate on that. Like, it's just a match made in heaven. You're going to see that increase, that lift in sales. And yeah, so I'm a partner, proud to be a partner. I have some amazing partners. So if anybody ever wants to talk and just figure out how we can work together, I'm always open for a conversation. So
and how do people
encourage that? You can email me. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you find my phone number, you can text me. I'm probably not going to give it to you right off the bat, but
smart. But listen, folks, if you want to get a hold of her, you could always reach out to Lou and I. If you guys know our numbers and stuff, we'll always get you connected. I promise you, the conversation with Maddie it can change your business. It can at least give you some great perspective on what you can do next. Folks, every conversation that you have in life, make sure you take something from it, whether it's something you agree with or don't. There's always something you can learn. That's why all perspectives matter. So I love this. I love this show today. You have been amazing, Maddie. And I think that everybody who's been on here commenting agrees with us that you are 100% somebody that we definitely love jiving with, hitting this 5-liner with, right? But there's also something else you're 100%. And it's something that Lou and I love to throw honor on when we meet somebody that we absolutely think sticks out of the crowd, right? We believe is a true solutionary in this business. And what that is you are 100% CGC approved.
That's right.
That's
right. You made it. You can go ahead.
It's an honor. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, a lot of businesses will put this on their doors, so people come in, they see that, they know it's a good place to do business.
You are brewing solution.
That's right.
got a little.
I'll just put this on my headshot.
Yes, CPC approved. Do it. I dare you. Put that on your clubhouse. But Jordan Cox says,
Totally.
Here's my take. Madison Morgan is a superhero. Just let her fix your problems. That's an incredibly great endorsement. Great timing, Jordan. Awesome. Well, we are so thankful, Maddie, that you have taken the time to spend with us. People know how to get a hold of you. They know how you can go to the next level with Maddie. Make sure that you do let Maddie know how much you do appreciate her taking the time to be able to brew solutions with us. You have now entered into the history archives of those that have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. We're so thankful for that, Maddie. And we're going to make sure that we do get you a mug, maybe even a little bit more swag, get you decked out a little bit.
I love swag.
But with that, as we get ready to finish off the show, we're going to end it the same way that we got it started, and that's dropping those F-bombs so we can fly and make it do what it do where it is that we go. And so and grow. We're pumped up to be able to have this time with you. Is there anything else, Maddie, that you have for the public that they need to know, want to know, you just want to say? Anybody you want to thank before we get out of here today?
I mean, I want to thank you two for having me on here. What you're doing is amazing, and just being able to be a part of this platform and to be officially approved now is amazing. So thank you too.
Thank you. I appreciate you. It's people like you that we're on a quest to brew with the best, and you've helped us do that today. We're so thankful for that.
Yeah, honored. We do appreciate you so much, and we look forward to the follow-up, folks, and looking forward to seeing you at all these events coming up here in the future.
Yes.
If you're not at these events, you need to go check them out. Because one thing I do know is there's a lot of great people there, a lot of great perspectives, and there's people like Maddie out there solving problems for everyone across the nation right now. Let's go.
That's right. And people like Tony Lucas want to let you know that we love you and we do appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. All right, let's forget Focus Fly. Get on to Brewing Solutions, wherever it is that we are today.
All right.
On 3. You're already with it. 1, 2, 3. Forgive.
Focus. Fly. And keep growing.
Keep growing.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much, everybody. I am Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And I'm Frelinard, subprime hero.
And we've been Brewing Solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast with the one, the only, Maddie.
Last time I said Madison, he said Maddie, right? Last time I said Madison. Let's just do Madison.
Whatever's easiest.
The one, the only, Madison Morgan. That's right. High five to you. Appreciate you. Great show. Awesome. Cheers to that. Another great solution session with another great solutionary out there. Thank you so much for doing it, what it is that you do. If you have caught this on the replay, if you are watching this on the live, thank you for taking your time. Pass it around. Make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel and to Car Guy Coffee. Make sure that you just put it inside of your regular flow. Anywhere that you get your podcast, make sure that you get it. There's plenty more to listen to at carguycoffee.com. But today, we have made history with this incredible solutionary. So make sure that you blow her up. Let her know that you appreciate her taking the time to brew solutions with us. Smile on, everybody. Keep laughing. We love you all. Forget Focus Fly. Keep growing. We're out.
That's right.